I had only come downstairs to find the cat. Instead, I found the car. Deep in the silence of the underground garage, the luxury sedan was occupied. I had gathered my courage, stepping closer to peer through the glass. Inside, 2 bodies were stripped bare, limbs intertwined in a grotesque knot of flesh. The man was Douglas, my husband, a man who built his entire reputation on self-control, propriety, and stoicism. The woman was Barbara, his high school sweetheart, the one that got away. Tears burned my eyes, hot and fast. I felt small, helpless, shattered. I looked back on the landscape of my life. I had never tasted the bitterness of poverty, but I had choked on the bitterness of love until I couldn't breathe. I was old money, a distinct breed of Manhattan aristocracy, raised in a silk bubble. My parents treated me like a hothouse flower. I had never washed a dish, never worked a day, and never known a want. I graduated college and walked straight down the aisle. The marriage to the Landers family was a merger, a union of equals, or so I thought. Before I married Douglas, I didn't know about his first love. Douglas had a soulmate once, a love etched in his soul, but Barbara was from the wrong side of the tracks, and his parents, ruthless climbers, forced them apart. Barbara took the payoff check, went back to her small town, and married a nobody to cut off Douglas's hope. Douglas was handsome, ambitious. With the massive capital injection from my family, he took the reins of the Landers group and turned it into a titan of industry. He always claimed he hated my softness. He despised that I was delicate, but in the bedroom, he loved it. Hypocrite. How could a man wear 2 different faces so easily? Then came Colton. I nearly bled out on the operating table bringing him into this world. I poured every ounce of love I had into that boy, but Colton was his father's clone. Cold, stern, humorless. He despised my tears. From the time he could walk, Colton worshipped strength. He idolized Douglas blindly, even though his father treated him more like a junior employee than a son. I was the one who raised him. I was the one there for every fever and every scraped knee, but his loyalty belonged entirely to the man who ignored him. He was only 7 years old when he first dissected my character with surgical precision. Dad likes strong women, warriors who can stand beside him in the trenches, he had said, his eyes flat and judging. He doesn't like a trophy wife who only knows how to shop. He tilted his head, looking at me like a specimen. Mom, you've been a useless decoration your whole life. Doesn't that feel empty? Empty? I blinked. Actually, it felt fantastic. Clothes laid out for me, meals prepared, mansions, supercars, diamonds the size of walnuts available at a snap of my fingers. Why would that be empty? Was it a crime to be born lucky? Did I really need to seek out suffering just to prove I was alive? Anyway, the 2 of them, father and son, loved to pick me apart, but I was trapped. I was a fool for love, a shallow idiot who couldn't resist a handsome face. Whenever the anger threatened to boil over, I would just look at their perfect, chiseled features. Then I would check the string of zeros in my bank account balance. Usually, that was enough to sedate me, but I still had pride. To prove to them that I wasn't just a useless ornament, that I could actually hold down a job, I wrote a check, a $50 million donation to a top-tier university for a new building. In exchange, I got a job. I became a librarian. I worked that job every single day, diligent and quiet, right up until I retired. Over those decades, I didn't just stack books. I found the scholarship students, the brilliant, starving kids from nothing, and I funded them. When they graduated, I funneled them straight into the Landers group. In a way, I had built my own secret army right under Douglas's nose. If it hadn't been for Barbara, my